I'd like to take a second and thank a few people who made this possible. I'd like to thank my parents for abandoning me at the hospital when I was born. I'd like to thank foster parents number 1 for giving me a place to live, for like 6 months. I'd like to thank foster parents number 2 for showing me that a promise doesn't matter. I'd like to thank foster parents number 3 for proving to me that I shouldn't trust others. To foster parents number 4, thank you for letting me get abused under your roof. To foster parents number 5, thank you for telling me that I was a lost cause. To foster parents number 6, thanks a lot for making me feel invisible. And to foster parents number 7, thank you for kicking me out when I needed you the most. Some of you are like, whoa, that was depressing. Thanks a lot. Now here's the thing. I understand not everyone watching this was, left at the hospital or grew up in a bunch of different foster homes like I did. But let's be honest. Sometimes life does things to us as young people that stink, that aren't your fault, that shouldn't happen, that you don't deserve. And honestly, sometimes the things in life that hurt us the most come from those we least expect, like our parents. I want you to understand, I don't tell you all that stuff to make you feel sorry for me. That's not my goal. My goal is that I want you to grasp this, that in life, it's not about our past, and it's not about our parents, it's about our future. And it's about what we do with that. Would I change any of that stuff that happened to me? No, I wouldn't. Why? Because it made me who I am today. I'm fine with who I am today. No, I'm proud of who I am today. All that stuff made me stronger. Here's my point. Every day, when you wake up, you have an option. With your past, with your parents, you have an option. Will you choose to get bitter, or will you choose to get better? It's your call. Now, hold on. Don't get the wrong idea. I am not one of these guys that thinks you always have to be positive in life. I think it's important to be realistic like this. Expect the best, prepare for the worst, and deal with it either way. What do I mean? I mean this. Whether your relationship with your parents is awesome or awful, you are in control of one and only one thing. You. Flashback story. Remember the first time when you were a little kid? Very first time you saw your teacher, like out in public, right? Like at a mall or grocery store or something, like completely freaked you out, right? Because you're like, what? What are you doing at the store? Shouldn't you be at school, hanging out with red pens? Don't you live at school or something, right? It was like instantly when you saw your teacher in public like that, they became real to you. They became human to you. I think this is key with our parents. Because sometimes we expect them to be perfect. Sometimes we expect them to be like these flawless child-raising wizards who always score perfectly on some sort of weird parenting video game. It doesn't work like that because nobody's perfect. Not you, definitely not me. Why? Because everybody has a story. I wonder, do you know what your parents' story is? I mean, what was their childhood like? How has their past affected their present? How has their relationship with their parents affected their relationship with you? Just like our friends, right? When we understand someone's background, we understand someone's story, we are way more forgiving of them. I mean, I bet your parents do this, right? Sometimes they say stuff to you, and after they say it, you're like, are you kidding me? Or they say something and it just really makes you furious. And I think sometimes they have good intentions with their words, but they just don't know the right thing to say. So let me try to help translate for you, if you will. When they say to you, you better be home at 11 o'clock or you're grounded, what they really mean is, I care about your safety. Go do your homework. What they mean is, I care about your future and I want to see you succeed. Don't make stupid decisions with your boyfriend named Antonio. I want you to truly fall in love one day. I don't want some random guy taking advantage of you. I'm sure you've heard this one. I don't even know who you are anymore. I miss you. You know when your dad comes home, right? And he's yelling about the stupidest stuff. I don't know. Let's have compassion. Maybe he's acting out from being stressed out at work, right? We all do that because watch, what you don't talk out, you act out. right? So if you're all stressed out, you're gonna stress out other people. We all do it. You, me, everybody. Why? Because hurting people hurt people. So here's a question. When your parents yell and scream and get all dramatic and stuff, what do you say? I mean, how do you respond? I mean, don't be surprised if every time you yell at your mom, she yells right back, right? I mean, doing the same thing over and over and over and over and expecting different results is insane. Solution? Try a different approach. Treat her the way you would want to be treated. Lead by example. Do that. I think we need to learn to understand that just like us, our parents' actions are a result of their story. Maybe from their childhood, or maybe from just a couple hours earlier. And now, a Hey Josh moment of knowledge. Let me ask you this. Think about the last month, right? How many times in the last month have you yelled at your parents? You got a number in your mind? Keep that number right there. And let me ask you this. How many times in the last month have you said thank you to your parents? Whew. Exactly. Maybe you need to sit down and have a conversation with your mom and dad and actually utter the words, "I'm sorry, I've never considered your side. I don't even know your story. Can we talk about why we argue a lot?" I mean, I don't know, there's really no secret to this. Just sit down, get stuff out in the open. Just be honest, right? You know, like, when you treat me like this, I feel like this. Here's the thing. The relationship you have with your parents is the longest lasting relationship you will have in your entire life. So, you can deal with this now, or it's gonna deal with you later. It doesn't have to be perfect. This is not my goal. My goal is not to make your relationship with your parents perfect, because it will never be. But the goal here is to make the relationship better. And it will never get better if you don't step up and do something about it. And you know exactly what it is that you need to do. I mean, there are some of you that are watching this right now, and no matter what you've done or will do to make your relationship with your parent better, you're like, you know what, man? It's just not getting any better. All right? I'm sorry, but I want you to fixate on this. Vow to never, ever treat others the way that you've been treated. And even more importantly than that, you have to forgive your parents. Even if they don't ask for your forgiveness or whatever, you have to forgive them. Because if not, you'll carry around that baggage and you'll wake up in 20 years and you'll be just like them, taking it out on the people closest to you. So, I've got something for you, a challenge. I'm gonna give you a deadline of 8 hours and 23 minutes to do something to make your relationship with your parents better. But here's the thing, let me say this to you. If you don't have the courage to do something to make your relationship with your parents better, you have no right to complain about them. I know that stings, but it's true. So it's time. I'm asking you to sit down and have a conversation. I'm asking you to pick up the phone and say, "Mom, I'm sorry. Dad, I love you." I'm asking you to write a letter and have courage for the first time to tell your parents how you feel and make that relationship better. In a moment, your life, I truly believe this could forever change. One moment, one decision, one phone call, one letter, one conversation with your parents could make that relationship better. You know what the cool thing is? It would be all because you had the courage to do something about it. Do not put this off. Do not put this off. You've only got 8 hours and 22 minutes left. Please, please do something about this. You can make the relationship better.